All right, there we go. Welcome back. We are so glad to be here with you for the Heslop Talk with my brothers Tick.
That's a technical talk foul. Technical talk foul.
We've reached the technical fouls. But guys, how are you doing, Josher? How you doing?
Woo.
Doing well?
Woo. Oh man, I need to use my Hangout toolbox for my magic powers.
You need to add the lower thirds. You guys are slipping. I wasn't gonna mention anything. But you're doing well, Josh. How are you doing, Jeremy?
Doing well with my lower thirds. You know, it's kind of the same color as the Pixel 2 button on there. You know, a little yellow going
Feeling
on.
red today. Feeling red today.
You guys are just throwing it out there, huh? Okay, I see how it is. But yeah, speaking of Pixel 2, there might have been a big Google event that happened. Just a little guy. I think it's safe to say, brothers, that Google is into the hardware game. They're full swing going at hardware now. It's not just like a little dip with a phone here, a phone there. They actually have a range of products. So we'll look here at some of the highlights. As you can see here, look at all this jazz. Yowzas, headphones, multiple speakers, cameras, phones, a stylus that looks unassuming. Lots of stuff. So what do we got here? Pixel 2, which we'll talk about later more in depth. We got the Google Home Mini, little donut there for you. The normal Google Home Max. Maximize your Google Home. Google Pixel Book, which we are not impressed with, but we'll get into that in a second. Google Clips, which I'm not really impressed with. The Daydream View, which isn't new. And
wait. What? It is new.
There's what's new about it?
I will tell you. We'll talk about it in a few moments.
And then the Google Pixel Buds, which are pretty interesting too. So I mean, couple things here. The Mini here, like it is a little mini puck, has some lights on there. They have an endearing video with kids. It's basically just the Google Home, but small and kind of out of the way. So they're kind of. They want you to be able to put them throughout your house. They want you to be able to have them in every room. So, I mean, there's not much to say about it other than it's a Google Home, but smaller. I mean, it's a mini.
It's only $50. That's the kicker.
That's the big thing. I mean, it's as much as, an Echo, but Echo Dot. Sorry. And as much as the Echo Dot, which doesn't come with a speaker.
Well, it does have a speaker. It's just not that loud.
Not for audio. It's not for playing music. And I don't even think this Google Home Mini has a decent speaker for playing audio. Mm-hmm. It's more of just you talk to it and it responds type stuff.
Yeah, right. So sometimes you want some donuts. So that's what we got here. Dog nuts. Got some different colors here. I wonder what Google called them. Probably something ridiculous. But yeah, for $50, I mean, that's putting it to the Echo Dot for sure. I mean, they're saying, here we are, we're making hardware and deal with it. They're going right at it. So moving on then, the bigger counterpart is this Google Home Max. And this looks interesting, but it is $400 there. $400. That is not joking around, and there's a wait list. But at dual 4.5-inch woofers for deep balance bass, rigid housing to keep the audio composed, custom tweeters for crystal clear highs. There's the cool breakdown that we all wanted to see. Obviously, woofers.
They're like 22 millimeters of bass travel because it's like boom.
Yeah. And so. As you can see, it's a solid looking device here, and they want you tunes for your space, equalization, adjust the sound base for the room, which is kind of interesting. So it's giving you full balance audio no matter where you place it. So Google obviously is in their software, and they want to, give you the maximization of your sound. So here it is, upward, Ooh, 12 months of YouTube Music ad free. I didn't know that came with it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
So,
But this
yeah,
is
so
how much money does this cost?
this is $400.
$400.
$399. $400.
So you get twice as much speaker as the Apple thingamajigger. The Apple is like $400, isn't it? The Apple one that's coming out.
I think so. I would have to
I
check
don't know.
that. Someone can fact check. I'm not sure. But yeah, so this is built in, and I'd rather, have Google Assistant than Siri, but that's me. But yeah, free shipping on all orders. So there's that. But yeah, you can put there's all kinds of Chromecast audio. There's all kinds of ways that you can make this sync up throughout your house. But it's a big speaker. It runs Google Assistant, and they talked about how good it sounds and how good the audio software is to adjust to the room. Nothing crazy. I mean, I'm sure they were developing this before the Apple announcement, but if they weren't, they did that fast.
Yeah, it had to be a lead time of longer than that.
Before it. But, this is a direct competitor to it, and it'll be interesting to see who's going to want this, who's going to buy this. Real quickly, the Google Clips. This is interesting. This is a $250 device that you can get video clips with no sound to kind of document life. Not only HomePod is $349. Okay. So interesting.
$249 for clip.
So yeah, $249 for this. Shoot, save,
with no sound,
and save like never before. It's smart enough to recognize great expressions, lighting, and framing. Beautiful, spontaneous images, and it gets smarter. They're basically like little GIFs, little motion captures. Last several seconds without audio. Hold it, clip it, or set it down to get memorable clips from unique perspectives. So I don't know. For me, we were just talking about this before we went live, but if you can buy the cheaper GoPros for $150, and that gets some audio, albeit not good audio. It gets some audio, and you get some nature of it. I'm not sure who this is for. Maybe this is for, like, they keep showing kids. So maybe you have this clipped on your purse and you want to catch the moments of your kids doing something fun, and it's quick and it's easy. It connects right to your Google Photos. So that's cool. So it's going to be a better app probably than the GoPro app, obviously. You're going to get the images or the moving image files. So it's interesting. It's be part of the action. So they're kind of talking about action stuff, but I didn't see if this was waterproof or if it was water resistant. That's a good question. Yeah,
I don't think it's any of those.
You don't think it's any of those? Yeah. It doesn't look like it. No internet required though, because I guess it just sends it over either over a Wi-Fi.
Once you connect to your phone.
Yeah, it's Wi-Fi direct connect or it's Bluetooth. I'm not 100% positive there. But yeah, it's interesting. So, I mean, yeah, here it is right on Kids Play Toys. Battery up to 3 hours of smart capture per charge. That's
not a lot. Like,
not a lot. I mean, that's obviously continuing shooting is what it's saying.
Yeah.
But so it's probably going to be maybe 8 hours of just running. I don't know, but
I'm thinking that this is basically just to get a new product category out there. Basically, like, you want to capture your, your family moments that are spontaneous. Yeah. And here's what we came up with, and buy into our machine learning architecture where it's going to learn how to capture the right moments when, and look, it's going to find your kids automatically and capture them when they're in the shot and not your dogs. That's the kind of stuff that they're banking on that you want. You've got a well-to-do family, and you got a lot of money to burn, so you need an extra gadget. Here you go.
Yeah, so, obviously, like, every single frame is like a family-oriented type thing, except for that doggo. That's a cute doggo. And this other doggo.
So crazy dog people, crazy cat people, and families. So
So you'll see, yeah, if how that'll actually do. I mean, it's a 2.4 aperture lens, 15 frames per second. I mean, that doesn't seem too exciting either, because it's just taking pictures, like continuous pictures. Yeah, interesting.
it's underwhelming.
Yeah, it's not definitely. I'm not the target demographic here. I don't think.
It's not worth the price right now. Not at all.
No.
Maybe at $100. Maybe at $100. I think $100.
That's what I said.
It'd be-
$100 would be great for this.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, moving right along, these Google Pixel Buds, and these are what I'm assuming is kind of like an AirPod, type competitor, but they're a little bit different. It's $159, and the software really is where it gets pretty cool, because they demonstrated them using them to translate on the go with Google Translate, and that could be pretty interesting. The software learning that they're using here is pretty cool. I mean, if that's something that you do, they have a charging case like AirPods, charging case here, and different colors. Google Assistant built in, so you can be having your hand on your head the entire day, tapping away, so that you can do that. Listen when you talk, focuses on your voice. So
Pixel Buds.
yeah, I think it's Pixel Buds. I think it's just their kind of response to the good old AirPods, and figured out a way to market it with their system. So just black, clearly white, and kind of blue. Same ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed something that said, hey, you want Google Assistant in your ears, then there you go. So
Yep. So I mean, obviously, I haven't listened to them to verify this high quality audio that they talk about. But they could do anything. I mean, the AirPods aren't known for having great quality. They're the earpods, but wireless. So they're not blowing anybody's minds with the quality of audio. So we'll see. Maybe these look a little heftier, but who knows if that's
there's like 2 speakers on there. And what's with those those like the charging port?
The
Those
for
little
the wireless
circles
charge when you stick them in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Are they Bluetooth 5?
As far as I know, go down to this here. Where is he at? Where is he at? I thought that's what they said. It should be. I'm not sure. I don't see the tech spec on that. Interesting. No, and then lastly, well, before we talk about the Pixel later, was the Pixel book, and this is where Josh shows his unapproving head shake, maybe. This is interesting. I love this hardware. I think it's awesome.
You have a virtual assistant button.
It looks really good. They know what they're doing with hardware. I mean, look, it looks great. It folds over. It can be used as a tablet. First laptop with the Google Assistant built in. But you're being held back by the limitations that this is only for the Google Play Store. So it's Android built in, and then Chrome OS built in. So you're not going to be running Windows. You're not going to be running, Mac OS on here. You're going to be running this. I mean, spend an extra $100 to get the stylus. It doesn't work. It is super thin, and it looks great with USB-C on either side and a headphone jack. Who knew? But tilt support virtually, no lag. Virtually. What's this number 6 tell me?
So
Pressors
6 milliseconds is the lag, the latency.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So yeah, the USB-C, all the things, which is nice. It can tether to your phone, which
instantly,
is nice.
that's the only cool thing. So you just plug in your phone. Wait, can you just do that wirelessly?
I don't know. It says but yourself without Wi-Fi, instant tethering lets you use your Pixel phone data connection so you can keep going. So I guess you can just USB-C tether it right there and just use the thing.
That's what the feature is. You just plug in your USB-C to USB-C cable, and it just tethers automatically.
And if you don't have Wi-Fi tethering from your plan, I guess this way you can just tether your phone and run it off there. So that's nice. That's something I haven't really seen particularly yet.
If you have a decent carrier, like I get 10 gigabytes of tethering with my plan every month with AT&T. So
I get 0.
Sprint doesn't have it at all?
No, I have to pay. It's like an extra $10 a month or something like that. I have unlimited data, but then I don't have tethering.
Okay. So that's pretty wild.
I think it's an extra $10 for 5 gigs.
I think mine just uses. I think mine on AT&T just uses the data minutes that I have. I don't think it's a separate plan or separate gigabytes. And when I plug in my iPhone, and if you have it set up for turning on your hotspot, it just automatically works with USB, Bluetooth, or Wi-Fi, whichever one you want it to work with.
Yeah.
So I want to show this article real quick from The Verge. Just shows Pixelbook versus MacBook versus Surface laptop. How do the $1,000 laptops stack up?
Yeah.
And so basically they've got a spec comparison. And the biggest thing is the software. You got Chrome OS versus Windows 10. Even though the Surface laptop, you can upgrade to Windows 10 Pro until December, which anybody who buys a Surface laptop needs to do that. And then obviously MacBook has Mac OS. Dell XPS 13 and Lenovo Yoga are both Windows 10. But Pixelbook has about the same. They've actually got higher res than Surface laptop and MacBook by a little bit, and both i5s. But the MacBook at $1,000 only has the M3, which is a dual core. And
yeah, but you don't buy MacBooks for gaming. I mean, you might buy a Surface for gaming, and you're not buying a Chrome Pixelbook for gaming.
Right. Well, you're not. Just casual Android games is basically what you're looking at for the Pixelbook. So, but the base is 8 gigs for the Pixelbook, 4 gigs for the Surface laptop, and 8 gigs for the MacBook. 16 gigs max RAM for each of those, and storage 128, 256, 512. 2.4 pounds, so it's pretty light. MacBook is 2.03 and Surface laptop is 2.76. But the Surface laptop has a bigger screen. It's 13.5 inches versus the 12-inch MacBook and 12.3 of the Pixelbook. So, yeah, no pens on any of them. You got to pay for the pens separately. It's just really going to come down to the OS. If you love Chrome OS, you want a high-end device, that's the one for you. But you're limited by Chrome apps, doing everything with the cloud, Dropbox and Google Drive and OneDrive and all that stuff.
If you're able to survive in that universe and that's what you want to do, if you have a simple, if you're just only basically sending out emails and spreadsheets and things like that, it could be a useful thing. There's no doubt that the hardware is nice. It has great, battery life. It's a 7th gen Intel Core processor. You could do the i5 or the i7, depending on upgrade. 8 gigs.
And when we really think about it, if we looked at all of our app usage, on our computers, probably would be 75 to 90% browser based.
Yeah. Yeah.
Searching the web, watching YouTube, even online, little games or whatever and stuff like that. So, we're power users, so obviously we're using more than just the browser. But for everybody else in the world, you're not going to have to worry about malware, phishing attacks, more than obviously phishing attacks can work with any email provider, but
and Android.
And Android attacks. Obviously, if you download some goofy apps, it's still Linux and Android under the hood. But
what's the certificate?
I'll allow it.
Oh, it's going to say it's going to get rid of my viruses. I didn't know I had viruses. What?
It wants all the permissions plus my firstborn kid. I'll allow that.
Ian,
But yeah, I just think hopefully they'll go on sale soon. It'll be more of a value for people. Is the $1,000 is not worth it for that right now, and that's just the base. That's just the base model with 128 gig SSD. So
yeah, I know. You add $200 for the 256. You add 600. Holy moly! So if you want to do, you add $650 for the Core i7 with 512 SSD. Crazy,
right?
So that's right out the bat. You're hurting right there. So
it's expensive.
I'm coming.
It does get expensive real quick.
Speaking of expensive,
yeah,
there's a new Windows mixed reality headset that's going to come out called the Samsung Odyssey. And this is making some waves because it's like, hey, it basically is coming from Samsung, which had the partnership with Oculus, and now they're making one for Windows, which I have not tested one of these out yet. I have gone to the Microsoft Store. They have the Acer Windows mixed reality headset set up, but they do have these motion controllers that are the same. They're the same motion controllers no matter what Windows mixed reality headset you get, which is very good. But this mixed reality headset actually has some really good specs to it. So it has a resolution of 2880 by 1600. It's an AMOLED display. Refresh rate's up to 90 hertz, which is the same as the Vive and the Oculus, and then field of view is up to 110 degrees, and it's got headphones and dual array mics. So it's got headphones built in. So that's an
nice
ad for some of the other deals. But
oops, sorry. And it looks like they're AKG balanced or whatever.
Oh yeah, it does. It does. So that is it's going to be pretty interesting as far as they're saying this is not going to take as much horsepower to run. So it's going to be very interesting. But the cheaper ones are going to be $399. So this one is more of a high end. But as far as I know right now, the Oculus with touch bundle is the same amount of money, whereas the Vive just went down to $600 on sale now. So
okay.
So yeah, if somebody's already has an Oculus or Vive and they've already bought into that ecosystem, I don't know if it's going to be a good thing to also get this, unless you're the bleeding edge guy who's got to have everything. But
right.
The cheaper ones, the ones that are $300 or $400 maybe, depending. But yeah, this is coming out November 6th. So this is coming out the day before the Xbox One X. So it's going to be a lot of things coming out this holiday season.
A lot of monies.
Lots of monies, that's for sure. But hey, if you buy Office, you could win $10,000. Shop now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, speaking about AI, AR, VR, what's Apple doing in the AI space?
Whoa. So, I mean, we talked a little bit about Google's new headset and how it had some AI built in and things like that. Apple might be playing a little bit of catch up, trying to get their virtual assistant Siri up to par with Google's. MKBHD did a quick comparison of them a few months ago when Bixby came out. And Apple did pretty good at it, but needed a little bit of extra help for where Google was at already. And obviously Bixby didn't really hold up for anything. So Apple has been making some acquires, and I thought this one was interesting. I was going to show you guys. It's a company called Init AI.
Are they related to Initech?
I think so, and they want their stapler back. So
what about Initrode?
Hey, I need my speaker.
Steepler, Squirtles. So the guys at NetAI put up a message on their site a little while back saying, we're going to join a project that touches the lives of countless people across the world, which is funny. But so they have a smart assistant that help customer representatives parse through and interact with users, as well as automate a bunch of things. So kind of like a bot. But I can see where Apple might be using this for Siri integration with maybe other apps, or some of their own apps, or maybe with iMessages. So Apple's been starting to allow people to directly iMessage from certain websites and things like that. So I know a lot of mental thought has been going into message bots and different platforms like that. So I think this is a good play by Apple to pick up a company that is pretty forward thinking like this and get into it's a pretty crowded space. There's a lot of people doing automated messaging, replies, and interaction, but obviously Apple saw something that they liked with this team and will be potentially making Siri better, or maybe some of the other products we'll see some artificial intelligence coming in, or some automation and different integrations with stuff. So here's hoping anyway, so they wouldn't mind having some extra automations and things to make life easier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What I want to know is, can you go back up to that picture of the computer?
Yeah.
What's that thing to the right of the monitor?
Obviously, it is a smearing optical zoom lens for writing in slug language. It's new AI technology.
I
It's
thought
a cup of coffee. Come on.
I thought that first too. I was like, it's something smeared. Like they took that, it's a marker, like one of those stamps, and they just smeared it on the top of the desk there. I was like, it has to be.
Yeah, it took me a second. It is a very dumbed down,
poorly rendered
coffee.
Cup of coffee.
It's
A little silly, but so going in right here, we have with the Google announcement, there was even more craziness than just the Google Home Mini, even more craziness than the Max and the Clip and the Buds. You're my buds. But the Pixel 2, what we have been talking about, what we've been seeing the leaks for, it is finally here. The Pixel 2,
right.
The 2 XL, they were so right. There's that fun little accent mark there. So there's a couple versions for the regular Pixel. There's only 2 versions for the Pixel XL. But here's the Pixel XL. It's interesting. People are kind of upset about the bezels. And this is the Pixel XL, which comes kind of has up the edges a little bit better. But there is still side bezels that people aren't quite used to when they look at the the iPhone
Notes
10 and the Note 8 and the LG V30. There's not really side bezels. There's a little bit of top bezels, but obviously
S8.
here in the S8, all of them. But with the Pixel 2, you get even more, and let's find one of just the Pixel 2. This is the Pixel XL, but we'll go back to, it's not going to let me, there we go. See, as you can see here, they're pretty big bezels.
Forehead.
There's a good forehead, good bottom, and obviously they're changing things up because they're staying 16:9, and they have stereo speakers built in, which I'm absolutely I love the Nexus 6. I love the Nexus 6P. The front-facing stereo speakers were something that I was pretty sad to see missing in the Pixel. But you move along here and you start realizing a few things that pretty same design with things pretty similar. But you notice there's not 2 cameras. There's just one. And they removed the headphone jack. What were you going to say, Jeremy?
No headphone jack.
No headphone jack. Yeah. Funny enough, as you can see on these promo pictures, none of them shows the bottom to show that there's no headphone jack.
Surprise, surprise.
I think that might be their plan. Here's all of the colors here. The Pixel 2s on the left, the slightly blue, clearly white, and just black. Slightly blue sold out so fast. And in the 2X, or the XL, I mean, the black and white went real fast as well. They were like announced it, and as soon as they announced it, it was gone. People wanted that orange black then. The panda.
Yes, they wanted the panda fan. Yeah.
Panda.
Does it come with the USB-C to audio jack?
No, that's extra, and it was like $15 to $20.
No, they're including an adapter in the box.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh, I just saw on their site that they had it there. So maybe they include it in the box, but then
they're including it in the box. Otherwise, they wouldn't. Okay. Nobody would buy the phone.
Yeah, nobody would buy it. And the actual, if you buy it separately, it's actually more expensive than Apple's already overpriced.
Okay, that's what it is.
Audio.
Yeah, that's what I saw. So I guess it's in the box, but then yeah, if you want to buy it separately, then it costs more. That's what it was. But yeah,
Apple's finally coming out with their own version of a charge and listen to music at the same time dongle, which is like double the dongle.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. That's what we were made for. Is
you put on your phones, you can key charge while listening.
Yeah. So that's another thing. People, since this is aluminum phone, there is no wireless charging. So they added water resistance.
Yeah.
And they added a few
steps at a time, guys.
But they said no wireless charging. I'm still a huge fan of the
location,
location of the fingerprint sensor, and they have a fingerprint sensor on here, which is nice. But yeah, they took off some of those things. They made a big deal about how quickly you can transfer all of your things in 10 minutes or less. You can suck the life out of the iPhone 8. Real fast, generic iPhone on the left there.
Hey, it's fast as lightning, isn't it?
Double the dongles, double the fun. Finance your Pixel on Project Fi, etc. Once again,
Verizon's
the only retailer that you can get it in stores as a part of like a plan or whatever. So
yeah,
you're gonna have to buy it unlocked. And $649 is starting for regular Pixel. $849 is the start for the Pixel XL, Pixel 2 XL. What are you guys' thoughts? Where are you at with the Pixel 2, and what were your first impressions?
I think they made some good trade-offs. I mean, I wish they still had a headphone jack, but at least they kept the fingerprint reader on the back. At least they did the dust resistance and stereo speakers. I think it's going to be so a lot of the features are pro use case, and it's going to make it easier for people to use the phone, and those are the kind of features that people want in phones. So they were smart about it. Instead of, hey, no front facing speakers, you know, I mean, everybody wanted that. Well, the iPhone 8 has it, but will the iPhone 10 have it? I don't believe so. So
say again, what you don't think the iPhone 10 has?
Front-facing speakers.
Oh, right. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Because it's all screen. So when they're going all screen, they don't have any room to put the speakers. So it's a trade-off. You got to
big trade-off. So there's the other things. I mean, to me, the things that were kind of the most of a bummer. Is no headphone jack, obviously. It's a trend that is moving towards the death of the auxiliary jack and the headphone jack. That's obvious that, you know, most companies are doing this. I was happy to see the V30 still had a quad DAC and had the headphone jack in it. So, but there's actually a camera bump now, which is kind of a bummer. You can see there that lip on the camera, because the original Pixel was super nice that it was just flat. No issues. It was just completely flat. So This added a camera bump and they took the headphone jack away. And wireless charging, to me, fast charging is so fast now that that's not a big deal. My V20 doesn't have wireless charging. If you really want it and you really need it, get a phone that has it. But to me, wireless charging is more of just a nice convenience thing. If you sit at a desk job, especially, it's nice because you can just set it down and have it at your desk. But if you're on the go, like I am most of the time, fast charging is what I rely on. Popping it on the charger for 15 minutes here to charge up to go to the next meeting or the next meeting. So,
they do have phone docks that you can get that will plug in your cable and have a dock and hold your phone up just like the wireless charging docks. So
yeah,
there's not really it's a tit for tat kind of thing. It's like you can get both. You just got to solve the problem. And, I don't think wireless charging is, I don't use it at all because I've got dogs that are large enough that where I put my phone, they would knock it off the deal.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So the iPhone X will have one front facing, I guess, using the
top speaker
hole. But if it's the same as the 8, they said it's not really that loud. It's just kind of, but I mean, it's gonna make a difference with something that doesn't have it, like the Samsung S8 and S8 Plus. It's like, and the Note 8, you're having to cup your hand around the things to make it get out there. But hey, might as well just plug in some headphones with that headphone jack on that S8, eh? Yeah.
I mean, people are going to use headphones of some sort, whether wireless or wired, over top of speakerphones for the most part. I mean, phone's just not going to give you that extra oomph that you need to hear in any normal environment. So,
well, so some extra details here. The XL 2XL is a 6-inch phone. It's a POLED, and it's 18 by 9 aspect ratio, whereas the Pixel 2 is a 5-inch phone, 5-inch screen, and it is a 16 by 9. The crazy thing is that it's a 5.7-inch tall phone because it is more bezels, whereas the Pixel 2 XL is 6-inch screen, but it's only 6.2 tall. So
you can thank LG for that.
Yep, I'm sure. Their displays.
That's the thing. It's like, come on, HTC designed the regular Pixel 2. I guess they wanted to have them on board for the squeeze them.
Yeah, the Active Sense. Active Sense in both of them.
Yep. But all it does is active.
Which is kind of interesting.
It is interesting, but right now it's only Active Edge. I mean, not Active Sense. I was thinking HTC Sense. Active Edge. It's only set for Google Assistant right now. Yep. You can't change what that is set for. So if you wanted to make it a camera to squeeze for your camera or squeeze to take a picture, whatever, you can't right now. They might in the future, obviously, and I'm sure developers and hackers are already going to be doing right away as fast as they can figuring out how to do that. But interesting.
Let's hope, man. Let's hope.
Any other thoughts on Pixel 2, Pixel XL, Pixel 2?
The Daydream differences. So
yes, what's the difference between that? I missed that.
Basically, I don't think the price is changing. I think it's still $99, or maybe it was only $70 before. But either way, it's $99. They've got different colors. They said it's more comfortable because you can actually put it in a top strap this time around, and there's new lenses for a better field of view, and actually a heat sink built in the front to keep the phone cooler because your phone does heat up during those games and stuff. But yeah, so you don't just get regular beige and gray. Now you can do like charcoal, fog, and coral. Woo!
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Guys can put more into this, but obviously the Daydream type stuff, that to me it's still a little bit of a novelty, I mean, you can't fully power things, and without having like the remotes to actually interact more.
Well, this does have one remote.
Yeah, it does. But it is less interactive. It's less fully.
It's better than the like, you know, go to Walmart and buy a $20 thing. I actually bought one of those because it was on like super clearance. It's horrible. It's not even worth your money. It's like you're seeing a little like small window. You're like, is that in 3D? What? And it just moves with your head. It's like it's the worst. So yeah, you don't want to cheap out on that. But I think you could probably go into a Best Buy and actually try out a sample of that to see. But they said they have over 250 VR apps that are very high quality. So
yeah,
I mean,
no, and I think it's good, and people enjoy it. But from what I've seen and when I've talked to people that have like Samsung's VR or Pixel Daydream, you know, they use it 2-3 times, and then use it when people come over for to hang out. They're like, oh, it's kind of like a party thing. It's like, oh, you want to see this? They got some VR. You can go in the aquarium underwater and swim around.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, you can shoot some spells at people, and it's not something that they use as often. Whereas, you know, with maybe a Vive or something like that, maybe that's because you spend more money and you want to use it. I don't know, but it just seems like they are growing, and they're definitely going to be more useful as it goes on. But right now, it's still a little bit like it's nice and it's fun, but not something that I think I would use every day or even weekly. Maybe, I don't know.
Right,
you guys might be able to speak more into that.
Well, thankfully it now works with a dozen Android phones: Galaxy S8, V30, Zenfone, Moto Z, Huawei Mate 9 Pro, and obviously the Pixel 2 line. So, and I'm sure it's still going to work with the Pixel 1 because that's what it was made for. But we'll have to see. That'll be very interesting. Like I said, I want to see it actually in a store and see if they have it set up.
Yeah, and see how comfortable it is. See how good it is. I mean, the more they improve the comfortability, the more they improve the field of view, the sharpness of the screen. It's only going to get better, which is super nice. And obviously, it's going to look better on the XL, and it's going to, you know, it'll be clearer and
way better on the XL because the Pixel 2 is only 1080p still.
Yep.
It's like, what are you doing? 1080p is so old. I mean, the battery life's going to be better. That's about the only thing. So
yeah, they didn't change the battery life or battery size much in either of them. They're about the same size battery and the regular and the XL from the original. So that won't change much, but there's going to be some more optimization. The 835 is a little better with that too. But I'm super excited for the camera. I'm super excited for their new softwares because it's only one camera. There's no wide angle. There's no extra sensor. It's one camera. It's going to do a lot of software. And the selfies with the portrait mode, they look good. I mean, if you zoom in on have you seen the selfies that people zoomed in and you saw kind of like the outline really, really harsh around the edges? You guys see that?
Well, I saw.
Yeah, for selfies, that's gonna happen. You know,
I saw MKBHD's first impressions, and the selfie that he did, it looks really good.
It looks good. What I'm saying is it's still pre-production software, and so people were harping on it and say, "Oh, I can see some smudges on the line there, or smudges." I'm like, pre-production. They're not even released the actual phone yet. The software is just going to get better, and if it's that good, just starting, I think it's got a lot of promise. And that's an 8 megapixel front shooter, and it looks super good. But what I was saying is like on some of them, like Super Staff had one where you zoomed in on his face and like his ear was smudged out because just the way.
Yeah, it guesses a lot of it. Yeah.
Hey, the machine needs to learn, guys. Just let the machine learn. Okay.
Now, doesn't the back camera have sensors that goes out and gets depth information, and then can make from the rear camera, not selfie camera, but the rear camera, it can get that 3D kind of scan of the environment and then be able to know what's in front of it versus what's behind, and then make the front person in focus with the
There's
rear
definitely more built-in sensor stuff with that.
the rear camera.
And the
Yeah.
dual pixel autofocus and all that stuff that's supposed to help with that.
Yeah, the dual pixel. I read or watched a video from The Verge on the Pixel camera, and they were talking about that a lot. So let me see. I'll link it up in the description so people can.
But I mean, it got the DxO mark, highest ever at a 98. But I'm not giving that any credit until I see like real world shots and things like that. It seems so. Every new camera that comes out, they're like, "This is the best. This is the best." So who knows? The Note 8 tied with the iPhone 8 Plus, or like one better or something like that. And then this came out and it was a 98, and people were like, "Are they going to start doing 110s and 113s? Like, they're going to get above 100%?" Because who knows? So, but I'm super excited for this. I don't think you need a dual camera if you can get a good system. I do like the implementation by LG to have a wide angle, because there are times where you just can't back up anymore. But this will be interested to see. I'll be interested to see kind of what this looks like and how that plays out for everyday use. But any other thoughts on these before we head on out?
That's a lot of stuff, and so we'll see how Google can react with Amazon and Apple, and everybody's fighting for that.
They're going at it.
Holiday season. Look at all the things. Look at all the things we got.
All the things.
Buy them. I needs it. So, yeah, it's the implementation of them is going to be, hey, these are the features that are going to differentiate, and then the prices and price to performance and all that kind of stuff is going to be very interesting. So,
yeah.
But
no, Jeremy, any other final thoughts?
No, it's exciting. It's good to have multiple players in the field making all the other companies better. So
yeah, when I sell one of my kidneys and some other non-essential organs, I'll get a Pixel XL2, and then we'll do a camera comparison to
with
the
my
iPhone 10.
Yeah. Should have one around November, mid-November.
Mid-November, yeah.
Staying up.
So, well, cool. Anything you guys have that you want to tell the tech talkers about coming up?
Still working on a couple of videos, come out, keyboard review, and just downloaded Forza Motorsport 7 on my Surface Pro. So
was that the Pixelbook?
No, that's
production
not
Pixelbook.
That's no. You look, it's got a hinge, y'all. It's got a hinge.
Is it barely blue? Is that barely blue?
This is called Cobalt. Okay, it's called Cobalt.
Strangely Cobalt.
I want soothing teal. Do you have that?
Cobra Cobalt.
It's kind of like a tealish deal, but
tealish deal. I like it. Jeremy, anything in your corner?
No, going to be coming out with some new, possibly here before too long, some CEO minutes. So for people who are running their business that wants to be more productive and optimize their awesomeness, check out my YouTubes. Hello, YouTubes.
Hello, YouTubes. Awesome. Well, cool. I thank you so much for watching. It has been fun. Another talking tech with my brothers, tech talkers. It has been good times. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate your viewership. Why don't you give it a little bit of a like and a share and tell people about the tech goodness. All right. We will talk to you all in the next.